Hi everybody, welcome to my channel and happy spring. This is Audrey. Today I am participating in a YouTube hop for Cheeky.Studio. There's a whole bunch of scrappers listed below and everybody is posting a springy layout today. So I am using a photo from a couple years ago that I printed out a while ago, and I just have not found the right papers or the right inspiration to scrap it, and I really wanted to capture this moment, so I thought that I would try to work with it again today. So my photo is up in the top left. You can't see it yet, but it has a lot of green in it. So I decided that for my background and my papers and just the color palette, I'm going to focus with some oranges and some pinks to kind of offset the green in my photo, because I really want the green to stand out. So I have already applied some clear gesso to my cardstock, and I'm just using the packaging technique, and I'm using some coral Heidi Swap color shine and the pink color shine, and I just am splattering those on, and then I'm going to go back through with some gold and do some gold splatters. And then I thought I wanted to bring in a little bit of blue, so I let that dry because I didn't want the blue and the orange to mix, because it does tend to get a little bit brownish, muddy looking if you have a cool color mixing with a warmer color. So I let that dry. I'm just going to go back with some with the blue with paintbrush, because I just wanted some small areas and I didn't want to risk messing it up with the packaging technique. And this is a Shimmers. I don't know what color is it. It's a Vibes, and it's called Snow Wayman. So it's kind of a really pretty like sky blue, and I mixed it in with just a tiny bit of pink, just to bring in a little bit of purple as well. So there's my photo you see, and you can see all the green in there. I am going to add a little, this is Distress Oxide in, what is it called? Citron? Some type of citron. But citron is one of my favorite colors. I love it as an accent color on scrapbook pages, because I just think it just provides a really nice bright pop of color, and it's not the same color of shade of green obviously in my photo, so it's going to provide a nice background, and it brings in just a tiny hint of, I know it's not yellow, but it brings in that brightness that a yellow can bring in too. And I'm using this stencil, I think it's an Echo Park stencil that I got from a Hip Kit Club kit, and going back with a few splatters of citron color shine as well. So I'm pretty happy with that background. I'm tapping my fingers here because I wanted to bring in some type of wood grain print. So I have this little tiny roller stamp, and this is old. I think it's I'm pretty sure that this was from Glitz Design, and I'm just using a really light color gray here, and I'm just kind of doing some streaks of wood grain. I also had a wood grain stencil, but I figured I had already used a stencil, so I went with the stamp instead. Part of the inspiration for my color palette today came from this collection from Basic Gray, which is called, I have it right here, it's an old Basic Gray collection called Hillside, and it has some greens and pinks and kind of coral and orange, and I just love the color combination. Again, providing the pink and orange, really providing nice contrast for the green in my photo. So, and there's some really cute springy embellishments in here, so I'm going to use those. So I'm just going to layer a couple pieces of the pattern paper behind my photo, and I picked two patterns that were not really, they weren't really bold patterns. I had this stripe, and then I had a couple other bigger patterns with this geometric print, and it just got, the prints got a little too busy, so I kind of went for some softer patterns and tones. I didn't want to take away from my photo. My photo has, it's a really wide shot, and it has a lot of little tiny details in it, and I think that gets lost if you add papers that have a lot of details to them. So even like this little smidgen of this geometric print. So I am not going to use that. and I turned it over and added, I thought maybe I could use the green, but again, that green just took right away from the green in my photo. That piece of paper I just had up there with kind of the doodly flowers and such, I was thinking about fussy cutting. I do go back and fussy cut out some of those bits in a little while here, but I'll come back to that in a second. So also part of this collection, I had these butterflies and moth pack and it has like these vellum cutouts and then some die cuts from the butterflies, and you layer them on top of each other and they kind of match, and it provides just a really beautiful layer. I'm not sure if this was from the same collection, but it just happened to be in this packet of this collection pack I had, so I don't think these butterflies are from the same collection, but these leaves definitely are part of the Hillside collection from Basic Gray. And you know, I was thinking about the green again, and I keep trying the green, and I do end up adding a few little pieces of green, but I just focused on using the pink and the orange. And I really love these leafy, so there's some vellum leaves there and some cardstock, just die cut cardstock leaves too. So I just love the shape, especially the ones that kind of look like ferns there. These wood grain phrases are from, I think, Pebbles, from Jen Hadfield's collection. That's a recent one. Those were also in a Hip Kit Club kit. And again, because of the theme of my photo, I thought that the wood grain would go really well with the photo here. And this title is kind of perfect because, so this is a photo of my kids. So this, let's see, this is 4 years ago. So they were 4 and 2. And my daughter had just come inside and grabbed a whole bunch of stuff, and she set up a little coloring table for her and her brother, and it's very hard to see from this angle, but they had their stuffed animals kind of stuck in the fence back there. And I just looked out in the yard, and there they were, coloring and talking and having their and playing with their stuffed animals, and it was just adorable. So so anyway, underneath this big tree in our yard, so I thought the wood grain would be a good addition to kind of go along with the, you know, the idea of the tree. So I pulled out this sticker sheet from this collection as well and just started layering some things, and I liked bringing in the little circles, especially the circle for the journaling spot, and then so I had to bring another little circle embellishment in, so I used that little one with a bird on it, which I thought was cute. And this You and Me tag was pretty perfect as well for the theme. So I really liked this pink fern-like vellum piece, and I decided to cut it up so that I could stick another piece of it, the tip of it, up in the top left, just to kind of, you know, continue that pattern in there. And you can see I did tuck a little bit of the green in there, and it's not too overwhelming. You can still really see the green in the tree. And the butterfly is that kind of like a citron green too. So I'm pretty happy with all of that. So I'm going to start gluing. Now you can see that I have added a couple little flowers, and those were teeny tiny flowers that I fussy cut from that one piece of pattern paper that had the doodly flowers on it. So I spent some time fussy cutting those out. And I'm going to start layering and start finally gluing everything down. So I put that vellum piece over the butterfly and I stitched over it, and then I did go and stitch over the tags on my photo, the labels and stickers around my photo. And I never glue anything down to start. I always lay everything out unglued until it's exactly how I want it, and then I go back through and I glue from the top down. So I don't take everything off and then build back up again. I start from the top and you know, we'll glue layers on top of each other and then finally glue everything back down to the page. But if I know that something is sticking right to the page, like the title, for example, together, I have already glued that down because I know that that's going to stay there and that's not going to move. And that helps me, once I glue the title down or other little bits, it helps me reference, like when I want to go back and put my photo back on, so exactly where the photo should go. I'm going to kind of add a little bit of dimension here with these die cuts. It was hard to see when they came out of the package, but they are, they're cut and they're kind of fringed, these leaves. You'll see it better in the close-ups at the end. So I just was kind of pulling apart the little cuts so that they added a little bit more dimension. And then the vellum leaves, the green ones with the polka dots, I stitched over the centers of those with some green thread as well. And now I'm just going to glue down the rest of the things in here. And I don't think I add anything else really. The rest is just gluing things down. What am I doing? Oh, I added a piece of cardstock underneath that sticker because I just wanted it to be a little bit heavier. So when I journaled over it, that it didn't kind of move and that I could glue it down easier. So now that I have everything layered how I want, I just kind of lift up the corners, the bottom, and add a whole bunch of glue. I popped, did I do my pop dots yet? I did not. I'm going to go through and pop up some of those tiny flowers with some foam squares. And yep, that's pretty much it. Oh, I do go back, so I'll add my date. I'm not sure if I do this on camera. I added my date and my journaling, of course. I don't think I do that on camera. And then I step back and look at it, and this little bird sticker on the left right there has some, it's kind of like a little bit of a darker orange. So I decided to go back through my stash, and I pulled out a darker orange. Oh yeah, here it is. A darker orange mist, another shimmers, and I just did a few splatters of that, and that helped pick that up. And then there is the finished page. So I really love how the green in this photo stands off from the pink and the orange, and that was my goal, and I feel like I achieved it. Plus, it's springy, so lots of pretty leaves and nice colors. So that is it today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please check out, there's a ton of YouTubers on this hop. Check it out. There's also a discount for the Cheeky.Studio store, which I will link below in the description. Hope you have a great day and happy spring.